Hey all, it's Johnny Mullet here. Today I wanted to share a video with you guys on my off-grid bus. This is my off-grid Skoolie that I built a couple years ago. I bought it in November of 2017. Took an entire year to build it. It's one of the best projects that I've ever done. I've done a lot of projects in the past, you know, with mud trucks and fast cars, but this has turned out to be the absolute best project I could have ever did, especially with what's going on in today's world. So I'm not going to talk about politics or the government or anything like that, but we all know with the stuff that's going down today, it's a scary situation. A lot of small businesses are closed up. A lot of people have lost their jobs. And a lot of people are hurting right now, and most Americans are scared. And it's not just America. This is a worldwide thing. And we're all scared. We don't know what to expect, and I'm really glad I built this bus. So this is my off-grid 1996 Thomas International bus. When I bought it, it was a regular school bus. If you've been following along the channel, you've seen the entire build, because I documented the entire build from the beginning. Actually, from the first day I bought the bus and brought it home. So I built this thing to be an off-grid vehicle. I did not want to depend or rely on a power cord or a generator. So the build was basically a 12-volt build, minus a couple appliances that are, in my opinion, luxuries. So everything inside this bus is 12-volt minus the refrigerator. And the refrigerator does run off of a power inverter. Since I'm here at home, I plug the refrigerator directly to a cord into the garage and use the electricity that we have available at the current time. And the entire, scope of things going on, it makes you wonder what's going on and what's going to happen. For instance, if the power goes down, my house is worthless because the entire house runs off of electricity. That includes the heat, that includes the water pump. So with no electricity at the house, there is really no sense in staying in the house because you absolutely lose everything. My bus does not need electric current from the grid. It is completely off-grid, and that's the way I built it, and I'm glad I did it that way. So I'm going to take you on inside, and we're going to check it out and see how it all works. So here we are inside the bus. A lot of you have seen what the inside of my bus looks like if you've seen my previous videos, and we made it nice, we made it comfortable. I mean, if it's somewhere that you want to live, you got to make it nice, you got to make it decent. So if you haven't seen my videos before, this is the setup of my 28-foot off-grid bus, and it's quite comfortable and very livable. We've gone on some really good vacations, and we have enjoyed ourselves in this bus, and no complaints with the setup, the layout, or anything. So I have a simple 200-watt solar system that runs everything inside this bus. A lot of you might be thinking, 200 watts, that's not enough. You need more power. I actually don't need more power because I did not build my bus with 110-volt appliances and 110-volt accessories throughout the vehicle. Everything inside this bus, minus the refrigerator, runs from 12 volt. That also includes my ceiling fan, my television set, my stereo system, every light. The water pump that runs the water system is 12 volt. Everything inside this bus is 12 volt. So I have plenty of outlets and plenty of areas to plug into 12 volt, including 12 volt outlets and USB. 200 watts of solar might not seem like a lot, but if, like I said, if you're running a lot of 110 volt appliances, it's not going to be enough. You definitely need more solar. But I wanted my setup to be basic and simple. So I'm going to show you the electrical system and how it works. So let's check it out. So this is my power distribution center. I wanted everything electrical to be condensed into one location, one area for easy access. So I do have a switch panel here that controls a lot of the lighting, the water pump, the stereo, and a few other accessories. This switch here turns on my power inverter, and the power inverter will run the refrigerator and what other 110 volt appliances I may have. The first switch here turns on some cabin lights. As you can see above, we got 12 volt cabin lights. We got 4 of those, 2 in the bedroom and 2 up front. This amber light actually turns on my porch light. This is another LED light strip, which is behind me. This one here will turn on all of my 12 volt outlets. So I have my USB and 12 volt here. And around the corner, I also have another USB and 12 volt outlet, along with 2 more in the bedroom. So it makes it very convenient. This switch here runs my water pump. And this one here is an accessory switch to turn on a few more USB ports. And the last switch here turns on my stereo system. So, pretty simple, pretty gravy. Now, let's get to the main stuff inside here. Down here, inside, you will see I have 2 6-volt golf cart batteries. So let's get on down here and check out how this system works. If you look here, you see this blinking light. That is my solar charge controller. The 2 solar panels on the roof have 2 cables, a positive and a negative. And they go into, you can see on the bottom where the solar panel picture is right there. The 2 wires go into the controller, and the other 2 wires go into my batteries. So what I have down below, by the way, the 2 blinking lights means that the batteries are fully charged and float charging. So down below you see my 2 6-volt golf cart batteries. They are wired in series for 12 volts and 240 amp hours. So if you look back here, you see some more fuses and stuff. The wiring's a little messy, but I know where everything goes, and everything is safe. Nothing's going to rub or start a fire. So we haven't had any problem with the batteries. The power inverter is also directly run into the batteries. And the power inverter will run my power strip. So I have a cord, if you look back there, going out the outlet. That cord goes to the outside of the bus and is plugged into my refrigerator. When I am traveling or off-grid, I remove that cord and simply plug that cord into my power inverter, which then in turn comes up here and turns on the power strip, which the refrigerator is already plugged into. So that's pretty sweet. There is also a fuse box behind the power inverter, right there. So those fuses there control everything wired in the bus. So if there is a problem, everything has a circuit protection in one way or another. So for cooking and heating and hot water, everything runs off of propane. Here I have a propane stove. I showed you in an early build when I bought the stove and converted it to propane. So that does all of our cooking. And in the back we have a instant propane hot water heater to run the shower, and it works really well. So as long as we have propane canisters, we have heat, we have cooking, and we have hot water, which is really, really nice. Underneath the bed there is a 33-gallon water tank running directly to our sink, so we always have water here. We do not drink the water from the water tank. We only use it for doing dishes and so forth. So I'm back here in the bedroom, and right here we have our pantry. And with what's been going on, we've been stocking up on canned items and other necessities. So there's a lot of canned meats, a lot of canned foods inside there. And what's nice about having canned foods is you don't have to worry about it expiring right away. So that's always a good thing. Our water tank that I explained earlier under the bed is full. So we do have 33 gallons of usable water there. Also, we do have drinking water underneath the storage here under our bench. We have about 20 gallons of drinkable water ready to go. So if you want to cook or make coffee or just drink water, we have plenty of good drinkable water, which is really, really nice. So we don't know exactly what's going on in this world right now with all the craziness and this big virus scare and everything. So it never hurts to be prepared in one way or another. Um, with, the lockdown and the lost jobs, and people were going to start getting hungry, and, you know, people are going to want to start taking your stuff. So I am not a prepper in any way, or am I a survivalist or anything like that. But I do want to be prepared for the unforeseen. So that's the reason we went ahead and we stocked the bus full of food and water. We have a full tank of diesel fuel, and I have 10 gallons of diesel in the back of the bus in the garage area. Even if we don't go anywhere and we are like stuck here because travel is restricted, at least we have somewhere to go if the power happens to go down. At least we have a place where we can have light, we can get news and information from the radio or the television set, and we can at least be comfortable. And that's what I like about this bus the most, because it's very comfortable, it's off-grid. I don't need electricity to make things work because the solar power, the batteries, everything runs perfectly. So I do want to talk about the solar system. Not the solar system, but the actual solar panels and the batteries and everything. A lot of you out there may be skeptical about 200 watts of solar, but like I said, with everything being 12 volt, we don't use a whole lot of power. The biggest power draw comes from our refrigerator. And when the power inverter and refrigerator is on, that runs more power than everything 12 volt turned on at once. So what we do is we also have a plan whenever we are off-grid in the bus. For instance, we limit the times we open the refrigerator. When you want to get something out of the refrigerator, you make a mental note of what you need. You open the door, get what you need, get it out, and close it. The more that door is open, the more it's going to run power. And there have been occasions where my power and voltage have dropped low enough to start the alarm on the power inverter. But for instance, at nighttime, when we're ready to settle down for bed, I can turn the power inverter off, and the refrigerator will shut off along with the power inverter overnight. And first thing in the morning, when we get up, we turn it back on. But another backup plan I have is I have a isolator switch installed in my system that connects the batteries that I showed you for the house to the chassis batteries that run the bus. What this does is while the bus is running and the alternator is charging the regular chassis batteries, I can flip that switch, and that will connect and conjoin all the batteries together and recharge every battery in the bus. So it's good to have that isolator switch, because if the sun fails me or if we use too much power, we do have another option to charge our batteries without using a generator or without using a battery charger from shore power. So, it's all basic, but it works, and I'm glad I did what I did here, because we just don't know what's going on like anybody out there knows what's going on. So we have everything we need out here if anything goes wrong, and if the system really does collapse and violence becomes prevalent, we may have to relocate the bus. There is a good chance that if we are the only ones with power and people driving up and down my road see there's lights on inside the bus, they're going to want what you have. So I do have a couple backup plans on where we can relocate if it comes down to relocating the bus for our safety. So we got to be prepared. Even if you're not a prepper or survivalist, you got to think about taking care of yourself and your family. That's the most important thing right now. So, like I said in earlier videos, I don't recommend people going out and hoarding. Since that last video I made about the virus, I told people I'm against hoarding. But every day since that video, we would go to the store. I would pick up a few more canned items, a few more things of soup, a few more gallons of water. I'm not hoarding toilet paper like the masses. I'm not hoarding food and water like the masses. I just go out and get what I need, and then a little bit more, a little bit at a time. And I think you still have time. So if you want to start stocking up on a few food items, I do recommend that every time you do go to the store for your normal basic needs, grab a few cans of tuna, grab some peanut butter, grab some non-perishable food that will last. And also, if you don't have city water available and your water runs off of an electric pump, you may want to stock up on a few gallons of water just to be safe. So I just wanted to share with you guys this video and how important it is to me that I built this bus and its off-grid capabilities, and how we can at least prepare for the unforeseen in the future. So it's nice to have it. And all my friends out there, I just want you all to be safe, be courteous, be nice to other people. And we are Americans, and we're strong. We will get through this, and we will prevail. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll see you next time.